This is Rishikesh Writings, and today in our show, the well-known astrologer from Rishikesh, Uttarakhand, India, and his name is Kumar Rishi. And today we discuss about the life in 2022. So we are entering to the future, but still we are in the present. So let's discuss about the 2022 with Kumar Rishi. And our venue is the Tatwale Baba cave, and we are sitting next to the Shivalingam. It's ancient Shivalingam of this cave, and we are also sitting in the Manikut mountain belt. Namaste, and let's start. The 2022 begins. Namaste, Rishi.
Namaste Anand and namaste to all your viewers.
Rishi, how what do you think about the 2022? How it going to be impact on the humanity, even in the single individual beings who's working in a household, either he's doing the business or he's in the armed forces or he's in political, scientific field. How it is going to be affected?
Sure. I will I will be talking about all these things. I will begin by telling you that in Vedic astrology or in the Vedic system, so every year what we do is that we also assign a king, a cabinet actually, a cabinet of planets for the particular year. That who's going to be who's going to be doing what, and which planet is going to be taking care of different areas of our life. So in 2022, Saturn, the mighty Saturn is going to be the king. So the Saturn is going to be the king, and amazingly beautiful, charming Jupiter is going to be his prime minister. So we're talking about these two planets primarily. There are so many other planets to look at their cabinet, like what are they doing and everything. But that would take a long time. So we'll just have a brief discussion around these two energies. How are they going to be functioning, and what's special about them? So this year becomes the year of Saturn. Okay, so Saturn comes into the lordship of 2022. He's going to be taking care of all the major decisions that will happen, all the major events which will all happen with the blessings and under the guidance of Saturn. At the same time, it will also the decision will also be influenced by the wisdom and knowledge of Jupiter, because Jupiter, being the prime minister, will constantly give information to Saturn on how to behave. But if he, and when we study astrology and when we begin to learn the personality of planets, we know that Saturn is a very stubborn planet. It's a very stubborn personality. So now what we find this year is that the teacher has got a very stubborn student. Now this stubbornness is not towards being like, ego or attitude or anything of that sort. This stubbornness is towards following the right karma. So Saturn tells us all, or what Saturn's philosophy is that there is a karma, and that karma needs to be delivered by you in the right way, without any kind of pride, prejudice, without any kind of biasness. Unless we have that biasness, Saturn does not approve it. So this year 2022 is going to affect us in many ways, because Saturn is not only the king of this year, but Saturn is also the controller of all kind of issues, disease, health problems, issues with job, work, generation of money, also growth of vegetables or vegetation, animals. Saturn is also responsible for all those things, and it is also responsible for all level of education, not just school or college education. You can say intellectual, all level of intellectual knowledge comes also under Saturn this year, and also a lot of heart related decisions or heart related feelings is also covered by Saturn. So Saturn is basically, we can say that Saturn, a cold planet, is going to overtake or is going to sit in all our hearts or heart space. So we will begin to see that there's certain coldness. There is certain coldness. Now this coldness is not necessarily, it should be taken negatively. This coldness basically means that there is a need to burn a candle to burn an internal flame in our inside our hearts, so this coldness can be removed. So Saturn basically what it does this year in 2022, it is going to basically ask everybody to focus on their heart, to focus on their heart chakra, to open up their heart. And what we will find within countries, within organizations, within families, within relationships. So as narrow as you can go and as broad as you can go in terms of your relationship, we will find there's going to be a tug of war. There's going to be a pull and push. There's going to be a coldness. There's going to be a cold war, like cold war sort of a situation. So if we look at at a very macro level, if you look at the the world level, what we see is that there would be symptoms of cold war. It would not be a cold war like what was happening between US and Russia. It would be probably even bigger than that. But it will not be apparent. You cannot see it
So we
clearly.
can say this is the the period where the technology is boom up.
Yes, technology will boom up, but technology will become sluggish. So you will find that every day there is new advancement happening, but the moment you try to apply that advancement, it does not perform. It will not deliver what it has promised. So in terms of growth, in terms of, for example, if you talk about military growth or if you talk about economic growth, so in the numbers will reflect that there is growth, but in actual the growth will move very slowly. When Saturn becomes the king of 2022, so what it is going to do is that he's a tough cop. So this tough cop is actually, he does not let anybody bribe and get out of their way. He is going to be the checking everything. So when you check everything, then everything gets delayed, because when you check, you find loopholes, you find problems. And when Saturn will find these problems, he will tell that rectify this problem, only then you will move forward. But before that, when other planets are there, they are like, okay, they're like, "Hey, let's go in the flow, things will happen, let's go in the flow." But Saturn is like, no, 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 don't tell me flow, because Saturn is frozen. It's like frozen. It's not water, it's frozen water. So it's not moving unless if it will move with the whole glacier. It would be a big shift.
So my question is, what should a common man do to get the benefit from the Saturn, and how they can, what kind of remedies actually they can apply in their homes or in their life, so that Saturn planet can give them some benefit to their life cycle.
Okay, so since Saturn is covering or would be overlooking our health, overlooking our relationships, overlooking our work, what one needs to exercise in 2022 is a lot of patience towards all these areas. Basically, a lot of patience towards every avenue of our life, because Saturn being the king. But at the same time, the beauty is the moment we align with Saturn's rulership, the moment we do that, Jupiter steps in with a lot of rewards for us, because Jupiter is the prime minister. So the prime minister sees that, okay, this person is trying to align with the king. Let me give him the push he needs. So Jupiter gives this. This comes as a blessing. So what I'm trying to say is that I want all of your viewers to have this very clear picture in their mind that Saturn is not a negative planet. Saturn is not a negative planet. And Saturn is not going to be harming or causing pain or doing things like those to anyone. However, he is a tough planet. He does not give out things just like that. He wants you to earn it. So every avenue he wants it that you earn that thing. So this is a very good opportunity. 2022 is a great opportunity for people to align themselves with their yogic practices, with their meditative practices, with their spiritual practices, because Saturn will really help you elevate. So if you have been stuck, and if you begin to connect or reconnect yourself with the elements, you will find that Saturn will superbly help you. If you don't do that, then Saturn does the opposite. He will help you very much in disconnecting with everything, because its general nature is like, double or nothing. Either I give you whatever you want, or I give you nothing. So that's why we need to be like very much aligned. 2022 that's why it becomes a very crucial year for all of us, in the light of Corona and all these things also, happening in the past years. So this is a transition where we have a tough prime minister, or we have a tough ruler. So this ruler is going to make a lot of strong changes, very strong decisions. An interesting phenomena that will come up this year would be that a lot of people will buy property. Those who have been wanting to buy a home, those who have been wanting to buy an apartment, and those who have been planning to buy a piece of land or something, Saturn is going to bless. you know Saturn, this year we will see a lot of land buying and selling, not just domestically, also internationally, which is also a good part of it, good side of this. The alarming side of this is like nations take over each other's land only through wars. you know so I'm not saying that there's going to be a war, but it indicates that if nations, there could be some powerful nations which could probably diplomatically or strategically try to overtake other nations. That is also quite a possibility. We can see a lot of mergers and a lot of coming together of businesses together. It's also possible.
Thank you very much for sharing your wisdom about 2022. And if you have questions regarding to your astrology, so you can we will put down the link of Kumar Rishi down below our video. You can directly contact him, and yeah, you get a special discount if you refer the Rishikesh Writings, the reference. So you can get a special discount from the scientific way of astrology, calculation, and the result in your life. Namaste. We will keep update you about the city, life, nature in Rishikesh. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, and wish you all a very happy new year and a Merry Christmas.